world's toughest and most famous jet ski race is in its 18th year as the beautiful French Caribbean island of Guadeloupe hosted Karujet 2015. The lush, idyllic tropical island of Guadeloupe is one of the most scenically stunning destinations in the world. It lies between the clear, warm turquoise waters of the Caribbean and the dark blue expanse of the wild North Atlantic, and it offers a little bit of everything. From the white, sandy coastline and flat sugarcane fields on Grande Terre, to the black volcanic beaches and forest-covered mountains of Basse Terre. But Guadeloupe's cultural heritage is every bit as rich as its natural one. This former colonial island has a lively young population of 500,000 people of mixed French, Creole, African, and Indian descent. Guadeloupe's historical wealth is evident in its eclectic architecture, cuisine, languages, music, and its vibrant 24-hour lifestyle. It's been 18 years since Jacques Boucher and Eric Poulain dared each other in a race around the island that laid the foundations for what is today considered the most difficult race in jet skiing. The annual Karujet event is a 4-day festival that draws up to 45,000 people every year. It's one of the biggest and most famous sporting events in the Caribbean, attracting some of the most famous singers and celebrities in a daily morning-to-night celebration.
This
is the 18th edition of the Karujet, a magnificent sporting event that we here in Petit-Bourg are very happy and proud to host. We've seen some amazing racing and had some great events over the years, and I hope everyone in Guadeloupe will come this year and again next year for the 19th edition.
En tout cas, cet après-midi, nous attendons toute la population de la Guadeloupe.
The Karujet is a notoriously brutal beast of a race, and it takes a heavy toll on riders. This is not for the squeamish. Over 500 kilometers across rough ocean swells. Beyond the physical punishment meted out by the waves is the possibility of losing one's way in the ocean. It's a battle of men and machines against nature and each other.
The biggest waves out of any other race. This is the hardest race of all time.
You know, you're going 10, 15 feet and you're landing on uphills, and if you don't chop that crest of that wave, you know, you're going to break your boat, or you're going to break a leg or break an ankle or break a wrist. It's brutal.
There are 48 riders competing in amateur and professional categories. The man to beat is Karujet champion Hugo Fidlan of Martinique, who wants to be one of a select group of riders to defend their crown since the event was sanctioned by the UIM in 2006. The objective this year is to win the Karujet for a second time. I'm going to give it all I have to win 2 in a row. Challenging Fidlan once again is a raft of talented former Karujet champions from Guadeloupe. 2-time Karujet champion David Weitlingon, former champion Marc Forban, and last year's runner-up, Vincent Karam. Last year I finished runner-up, and my aim this year is to finish every race, to be consistent and to race smart. The event is just beginning. We'll see what it brings. But the might of the Caribbean will have to contend with some serious riders from Europe. The 2011 Karujet and 2-time UIM-ABP world champion Teddy Pons wants to add a second Karujet crown to his CV. He's joined by 4 talented Frenchmen who are all looking for their first Karujet title. The 2012 UIM-ABP world champion Francois Midori from Corsica, France, Alexander Barret in his 6th Karujet, another Corsican, Karujet regular Jean-Baptiste Botti, and third place in last year's Karujet, the ever-consistent dark horse Alain Tarzia. Karujet 2015 started off with a new against-the-clock time trial on day one. In the 25-kilometer speed race to Le Gossier and back, the fastest man was Alexander Barret, Midori runner-up, Botti third, Warner fourth, and Kevin Carlini fifth. Stage 2 is a 40-minute closed-circuit course run counterclockwise between Viard and Le Gossier. As with the time trials earlier, it would be another rolling start. The race is on. The riders hit speeds of 100 kilometers an hour to the all-shot. The time trials winner, Alexander Barret, has a great start, leading the field to the all-shot. Further back, behind Barret is a duel between two Corsicans, Alain Tarzia and Francois Midori, with Tarzia nudging ahead. Also up among the lead riders is local two-time Karujet winner, David Weitlingon. He's being chased by Craig Warner, a closed-circuit racing expert from the States. As Weitlingon ends the first lap in second spot, Warner closes the gap with him in third. In the second lap, Botti, another Corsican, chases Tarzia in a battle for fourth spot. Trouble for defending champion Ugo Fidlan as his jet ski comes to a halt. Bad luck for Fidlan. Barret loses speed and he's passed first by Weitlingon, then by Warner. But then Weitlingon also loses speed as Warner and Barret shoot past. This is Warner's kind of race and he's loving it out there. Francois Midori is right up there with the top riders, but he has a problem. Midori breaks down, and that is an early blow to his Karujet campaign. In the final lap, Weitlingon holds on for a top 3 finish, and Craig Warner crosses the finish line. He wins stage 2 ahead of Barret.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The guys in front of me kept going around the seaweed and stuff, and I grew up in the ocean, and I run right through the seaweed, so I wasn't really afraid of it. But our ski that we built is just amazing. It's the best one I've ever had out here, and looking forward to the next race.
At the end of day 1, Barret sits atop the standings with Warner 12 seconds behind, then Botti third, Weitlingon fourth, and Jan Ponama fifth. It's been a great day for me. The last time I completed the first day was back in 2010, and now again in 2015. I just hope I can keep this going until Sunday. Day 2, Stage 3. This is where the serious racing begins. This is a whole new stage of the Karujet that will be racing for the first time today, because it's the first time we have a race to Marie-Galante. Marie-Galante is an island on the exterior of Guadeloupe. It's not that far out, about 35 kilometers there, so about 70 kilometers there and back. So it's not that long, but the conditions are very rough, and the sea is bad. You have to rally hard till the end. The rolling start, the race is on. Riders have to pace themselves well. Karam takes the lead, pursued by Midori, Barret, and Botti as they approach the all-shot. Rough conditions, Barret powering through the spray. Behind them is a group of riders with Weitlingon, Carlini, Fidlan, and Tarzia. Karam goes head-to-head with 17-year-old Pierre Roussy. Corsicans, Francois Midori and Jean-Baptiste Botti in the lead, getting some big air on those ever-growing waves. Pierre Roussy, the youngest rider in the Karujet 2015 Pro class, takes a hard hit off a wave. Up front, Teddy Pons held a straight line after the all-shot and stormed ahead to take command of the race. Midori reclaims the lead from Pons, opening a few seconds gap with his friend and rival. But Pons again takes the lead with an exceptional straight line, while the rest arc around to that boy. Midori, Beret, and Botti all now trailing Pons. The riders get to Marie-Galante, turn the boy, and head straight back. There's confusion over the boys at Marie-Galante. On the way back, Francois Midori and Teddy Pons are going head-to-head. Teddy Pons loses his way 5 kilometers out. Midori passes him as Pons resumes the race. Behind Pons and Midori, Alexander Beret and Jean-Baptiste Botti lock horns for third. Beret strays slightly off course and Botti nudges ahead, taking second position, passing Pons. Midori holds off all challengers, heading to the finish line, winner of stage 3. Botti runner-up, Beret third, disappointment for Pons in fourth. That was a lot of pressure at the end, and I was afraid that I'd lose my direction. That was the tough part, but I got here in the lead, and I'm happy. At the end of day 2, Beret still leads the general standings with a 46.6 second lead over Botti in second, Vitilingon third, with Warner dropping back, unable to finish stage 3. Day 3, Stage 4, the Les Saintes Run, considered the hardest Karujet circuit.
So again, for today's race, we're going out of here all the way to an island and back, and we come in for a quick fill pit stop. It's actually a 10-minute pit stop, so you got to basically get your ski on the trailer, pull it out, fill it up, wait till your 10-minute marker. A course marker will tell you it's time for you to go. You go back out, you do one big triangle lap, come back in, and that's your win.
There it is, the race is on. The first stage is the drag race to the all-shot as the riders jump and fly over those waves. Terrible start from Pons, out with a busted compressor. He goes back to the beach, heart-stricken. Vincent Karam takes charge of the race early on, that 35-kilometer run to Les Saintes. The lead group of riders, Beret, Botti, Midori, Carlini, Fidlan, and Vitilingon, battling through 6 to 8 meter swells as they get around the all-shot. Beret breaks away in the lead. The riders heading to where the Atlantic meets the Caribbean, known as the washing machine. Trouble for Warner at the all-shot. The previous day's problems continue and the American's race is over. His Karujet campaign takes a big hit. Meanwhile, Beret charges on in the lead, with Karam just behind him, to his left. Beret is first to the buoy at Les Saintes as the riders come around and begin their 35-kilometer return to Viard. Beret still leads on the descent, but he's followed closely by Midori, Botti, and Vitilingon, though Karam drops back. Coming back in, there's nothing in it. Nearing Viard, Botti throttles ahead of Beret. Botti ends the Les Saintes lap in the lead, just a second ahead of Beret as they enter the pit stop to refuel, while the riders get patched up after the pounding they received. Davy Vitilingon's race ends with an arm injury after coming down hard off a wave. Pit stop over, riders head back out for the short, fast second leg of the race. Botti holds the lead, but Beret pressing hard behind him as the two break away from the pack and round the first buoy at Sainte Marie with Midori in pursuit. But on the top straight to Le Gaussier, Beret pours on the pressure, catching Botti. Beret and Botti take too wide a line, losing their way briefly, and that gives Midori the lead. Francois Midori heading into the finish line as Stage 4 winner. What a race, what a win. Midori throws down the gauntlet, says he's in the running too. Beret runner-up, just ahead of Botti, with Fidland coming in fourth. I was chasing Beret and Botti all the way, and I was about 15-20 seconds behind them following the pit stop. I didn't think I could close the gap and catch them, but then they made two mistakes. They got confused looking for the boy out at Sainte Marie, losing 5 to 7 seconds. Then they also made an error coming down for the final stretch, which gave me the lead, and I kept that to win race 4. It was a little lucky for me. They really gifted me that race, but I'll take it.
Ça se joue à 1 seconde, mais on s'est vraiment régalé.
The overall standing sees Beret still leading with 47 seconds up on Botti. Midori moves up to third, but with a 9-minute deficit. Tarzia is fourth. With the day's racing complete, the Karujet Festival continued to thrill fans. Day 4, the final day. The riders who've made it this far have 2 races left to get through. Stage 5 is a 4-lap course with a pit stop after lap 2, a total of 120 kilometers of racing between Viard, Sainte Marie, Ile de Gossier, and back to Viard. Here we are, the last day. I was in a similar situation in 2013 when I crashed on the final day, so I'm a little bit nervous today, but I hope it all goes well.
Last 18 hours has been just wrenching away. We broke some wires yesterday, so we had to take the whole wire harness out, solder the wires last night, put them in this morning, and we're just not gonna be able to test, but we're just going to the race. So got my fingers crossed. Hopefully I can make it out there and finish this race.
The riders line up, waiting for the green flag to drop. And there they go, over 100 kilometers an hour to the all-shot boy. Conditions flat and calm compared to the days before, which is expected to add 5 to 6 kilometers an hour to average speeds out there. Alexander Beret falls back as Karam speeds past him on his left and Warner on his right. Karam and Warner head-to-head on that drag race to the all-shot. Warner's hand goes up, he has a problem. Vincent Karam takes command of the race early on, while Beret continues to fall back. Greg Warner's woes continue as he heads back to the beach with a broken post line for his throttle body. His team gets him back out fast, but he rejoins the race at the back. Behind Karam is a battle for fourth between Kevin Carlini and number 89 Bruno Claret. The boy at Sainte Marie, Botti, takes the lead from Karam with defending champion Fidland following in third. More bad luck for Teddy Pons. His campaign is over. Warner headed back in again. He needed more fuel.
I just went through with all the officials. Can I fill up now? And they said no.
It's because I went out and had to come back. They have to let me fill. Where's the official? I don't have fuel. I can't make another lap. But what I went out and broke and can fix and come back. It doesn't matter. I'm in last place.
Qu'est-ce que tu veux que je fasse?
Let me go race. I want to have fun.
There's Jean-Baptiste Botti in the lead, closing out lap 2, but Karam is right behind him as the two cross the finish line and into the pit stop to refuel. Fidland is third into the pit. Beret pulls in 23rd position at the end of lap 2. I'm currently leading the race with Vincent Karam. Alex Beret had a problem, so now I'm top of the standings. I'm not going to push too hard now. Following the 10-minute pit stop, Karam and Botti head back out. Beret's title hopes in serious trouble. In lap 3, Botti eases off and tries not to push his ski too hard. Karam assumes the lead as they go into the final lap. But Botti is right behind him, with Fidland in 3rd position. Alain Tarzia moves up into the top 10, improving with every lap. Barret in all sorts of trouble. He tries to head back out there to salvage what he can, but it's no good. He's out. Meanwhile, 2013 Karujet champion Marc Forban is also out of the race with a right leg injury. Defending champion Fidland going strong in 3rd, with Botti and Karam neck and neck up front. And Botti supplants Karam in the lead, opening a 4-second lead on Karam and Fidland. The final stretch, Botti eases home, while Karam holds off Fidland to finish runner-up. What a result for Botti, what a race from the Corsican. Karam and Fidland are 2 and 3, then Carlini with a well-earned 4th place ahead of Frank Arnoux in 5th. Botti was very fast and he passed me near the end. It was tough getting through this race, but I'm happy with runner-up.
Ça a été difficile d'aller le chercher, maintenant c'est la course et je suis content de finir 2e.
It's tears for Barret. With 1 race left, he has to fix his machine fast. So with Barret's misfortune, Botti turns that 47-second deficit into a 9.3-minute lead as he enters the final race of the event, head and shoulders above the field. Stage 6, the final race of Karujet 2015. I just need to finish the race. The wind has picked up, the waves are bigger now, and I'm just thinking about finishing this race, not winning it. The final stage would be the exact same circuit as race 2, a total of 40 minutes of racing. After the final preparations and farewells, the riders headed out for the last start of the event. But even before the start, Barret had trouble, and he'd go out late. The green flag goes down, conditions a little rougher than in the morning. Francois Midori and Marc Forban make a great start, but it's Vincent Karam who takes the lead on that starting straightaway to the all-shot. Following the all-shot, a mistake from Karam, he veers off to the right as Marc Forban cuts in across Midori's path to take the lead, and Midori follows in 2nd. Karam realizes something's not right, and he heads back in, but drops back to 12th. Marc Forban now in the lead, chased by Midori, and Craig Warner in 3rd, the American having won the same circuit in race 2. Behind Warner is Kevin Carlini, who moved up to 4th in the standings after stage 5. After just 2 laps, it's curtains for Barret. His title hopes are dashed. Trouble also for Marc Forban. He also drops out, moving Midori into 1st. But Fidland is quickly moving up the field. He overhauls Warner, Carlini, and Botti, claiming 2nd spot behind Midori, who he passes a lap later to clinch the lead. Warner overhauls Karam as he climbs back up after falling back. In lap 11, Warner overtakes Midori on the turnboy to move up another spot and challenge Kevin Carlini. Vincent Karam also makes a surge near the end, Carlini dropping down to 5th spot as the race enters the final lap. Karam continues his rampage, passing Midori, nabbing 3rd. Fidland caps off Karujet 2015 with a win. Warner runner-up. But it's Jean-Baptiste Botti finishing 4th, who's crowned the new Karujet champion. Alain Tarzia claims his 2nd Karujet podium in a row. It's a Corsican 1-2-3. Botti is king of Karujet. I'm great, very happy. In the amateurs, it's an all Guadeloupe 1-2-3. Christophe Dabricot wins. Wilfred Belizaire runner-up, and William Lopin third. That concludes another incredible Karujet from Guadeloupe. See you again next year.
Champion du monde, Jean-Baptiste Montilly.